All right, it's looking like a rematch of the second highest pay-per-view selling event of all time is going to go down. Of course, I'm talking about Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather once again. We know that in 2017, these two went up against one another. I think Mayweather generated somewhere in the region of $200 million. McGregor walked away with about $100 million. Everybody involved made a shit ton of money.
I'll make it rain all day long.
And God bless them both. That's what we want to do as fighters. We're trying to make the most money possible. So as I say, well done to everybody involved. If you saw the fight, McGregor turned up. He did very well. Landed an uppercut right at the start of the fight. You know, Mayweather with his experience, being, well, 49-0 at the time, 50-0 now, as we know. Ridiculous experience as an amateur as well. So McGregor just stepping in there and getting to the 10th round before the referee stepping in and saving him from any more damage. That was great. That was a really good performance. You know, he did himself proud. He made a lot of money. Okay, he didn't get embarrassed. He didn't take too much damage. He didn't get knocked out. And he got very, very rich through the process. So well done. Mayweather, as we know, he's now retired. You know, he's doing exhibition matches in Japan. He's fighting on the top of skyscrapers in Dubai. And Conor McGregor, well, he's not on top of the sport of mixed martial arts anymore either. When this fight first happened, as I said, Mayweather, known as the best ever, potentially is the best ever of his generation. I don't know about the best ever of all time. That's a big claim, but potentially one of the best of his generation. A beautiful record, 49-0. And Mayweather took out some legendary fighters along the way. Ricky Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez. 49 in total, so many, many others. McGregor on the flip side did exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he wasn't coming to just take part in this sport. He was coming to take over. And that's what he did. His rise at 145 pounds was absolutely phenomenal. And the cherry on the cake was when he knocked out Jose Aldo around 12 or 13 seconds. Just absolutely unbelievable. And then steps up a weight class in 2016, UFC 205, Madison Square Garden, and puts a beat down on Eddie Alvarez that I don't think anyone expected. I certainly didn't expect it. What a performance that was. And of course, he became a 2-weight division champion and quite literally took over the sport. As I said, became the biggest star the sport's ever seen, made the most money anyone ever has in the UFC. So congratulations to him for that. So with him being the man in the UFC and Mayweather being the man in boxing, and then both being around similar sizes and weight classes, it kind of made sense. And as I say, it did make sense. It made dollars and cents. It made a shit ton of money.
More fucking money.
Now the rumours are circulating. Okay, McGregor's alluded to it on social media saying, I accept. The Daily Mail, Yahoo Sports, the Mirror.co.uk, they're all talking about it, okay? And apparently they're going to rematch one another for $155 million. That's what people are saying online. I have no idea. I don't know where they're getting these numbers from, but still, we're going to go with it for now. $155 million are at stake, but they're arguing. They're arguing over the amount of rounds, okay? They're arguing over whether or not this is going to be a professional fight. Of course, if McGregor's going to step in there against Floyd Mayweather, he wants the fight to be a professional bout, because if he can pull off an upset, if he can get the job done, he takes away that shiny record. He would be the only man to defeat Floyd Mayweather. So of course, if you're going to step in there, you want that. For Mayweather, I also understand his side. He's like, I've been retired for quite some time. McGregor was my last fight in 2017. 5 years have passed. I'm out there boxing the like of Logan Paul. Okay, so why would I want to do that? Why would I want to risk that when there's still a lot of money to be made? So I see both sides. We'll see how it plays out. You know, I think McGregor should be also arguing for potentially fighting in no shoes. You know, I mean, that is a big thing. MMA fighters, they get used to fighting in barefoot. Putting on boxing boots, you get so much more traction, and the footwork is far more, you know, it's just better. You can stick to the canvas. You can move around. And Mayweather's known for his movement. You know, he should say, hey, meet me halfway. Let's change the glove size and let's change to bare feet. I'm not sure if Mayweather would go for that. But anyway, that's just one little small tidbit. So the reality is, do we want to see this? Yeah, we do. Come on, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't we want to see it? I mean, the reality is I don't think it's going to do the absolute astronomical numbers which the first one did. I mean, that was insane. It was lightning in a bottle, right? Those press conferences, that world tour that they went on. I think it was Vegas, LA, Toronto, and London. Maybe I'm missing one or two, but something like that. And they were wildly entertaining. McGregor certainly delivered. You know, he was riding high on so much confidence. I mean, the man's always confident, let's be honest. But he was extremely confident. He sold the fight, you know. I'll never forget some of those scenes, absolutely unbelievable. And it just captured the imagination. If you were a fight fan, you had to watch that fight. Simple as that. But as I say, a lot has changed since then. Mainly if you're Conor McGregor, okay? I say it all the time, I'll say it one more time. You go up, but what goes up must come down. He was on top of the sport. He was the man, okay? But he lost his belt. Well, he didn't lose his belt. He got stripped, I think, due to inactivity, but he lost to Khabib. Then he lost to Dustin Poirier twice in a row. The reality is he hasn't won a fight since Eddie Alvarez in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken on that. No shame. He's still fighting the very best. Khabib Nurmagomedov, nobody's beating him. Dustin Poirier, one of the top lightweight fighters out there. Of course, he got revenge. He knocked him out in Abu Dhabi, and then they rematched in Vegas at International Fight Week, and Dustin was winning the fight, let's be honest, but it actually ended at the end of the first round because Conor snapped his leg, snapped his tibia and fibia. He's been away, he's been recovering, he's been enjoying himself, he's been on his yacht, he's been lifting weights, he's been bulking up, but he's got to come back because that's who he is, right? Because having all the money in the world is fantastic, but as fighters, and when you're McGregor's age, you're still a young man, right? I'm 43 now, you know, so I'm kind of out of it. But if you're in your mid to early 30s, you still want to fight. Because number one, there's no better feeling. It is the best feeling in the world. And secondly, it's who you are. And you pride yourself on the fighting ability. And all the money in the world, you can buy a lot of things, but you can't buy respect in the fight community, and you cannot buy the UFC lightweight championship of the world. And I respect that he wants to fight again, because he could go off into the sunset, take his money and go and live a fantastic life and do other challenges. No doubt he'll end up acting and all kinds of things. We'll see what the future holds, but he still wants to fight. And as I say, I really respect that. So this fight, actually, if it was to take place, and by the way, Dana White shot it down.
What would it take for you to get involved in that conversation?
Dementia?
You know, which is a funny line, but you never know. We might see it. And for Conor McGregor, it's probably not a bad idea, because coming back and getting ready for an for a boxing fight is a lot less strenuous than getting ready for a mixed martial arts contest. Mixed martial arts, and of course I'm talking about the man's leg, okay? You got to throw kicks. You got to check kicks, you got to do jiu-jitsu, you got to do wrestling. There's a lot of wear and tear on the body. In boxing, there's no kicks, a lot of footwork, a lot of movement, a lot of punches. McGregor's good at all those things. So this is the perfect comeback. Of course, they all make a lot of money. I don't think it will sell anywhere near the first one, but I do think there would be a very, very healthy enthusiasm for it, okay? McGregor still is the pay-per-view king of the UFC. He's still very polarizing. He still attracts a lot of eyeballs. And Floyd Money Mayweather, he's getting paid an absolute goddamn fortune fighting on top of skyscrapers, fighting kickboxers, just fighting absolute goddamn bums. YouTubers. Yes, Logan Paul. No, fair play to Logan Paul. He actually did pretty well. He did pretty well. I'm just kidding. So yeah, there it is. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather 2. Do you want to see it? What do you think? Let me know down there in the comments. Oh, and if you haven't, subscribe and ring the bell. Anyway, take care.